Hey everyone, welcome back to Fantasy Theory. Keeping with the theme of the new episodes of What If every day, we're going to be breaking down episode 3 titled What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas. Let's just jump right into this. Now this episode definitely gives me Die Hard vibes, with this being a party on Christmas Eve, Happy Hogan crawling through vents and so on. So if you're a fan of Die Hard, I think you'll appreciate this episode. The episode opens with what sounds like the Marvel theme mixed with the classic Christmas song 12 Days of Christmas. Of course, this falling on Christmas Eve, they would do a Christmas episode. After the intro, the Watcher narrates the beginning while looking at a snow globe of Avengers Tower. Now this Avengers Tower looks like the ones from Age of Ultron, but I could be wrong here. The Watcher starts off by reciting the famous poem, The Night Before Christmas, written by Clement Clarke Moore. That poem transitioning into being spoken about the Avengers. We see that the snow globe above the fireplace with everyone's stockings, Maria, Darcy, Clint, Thor, Tony, Pepper, Nat, Rhodey, Steve, Happy, and Bruce. Two things I want to point out here. Thor's stocking falls into the fireplace, perhaps representing he will be missing the entire episode until the very end. I also want to point out that Bruce's stocking is bigger and is green. I feel like it's a missed opportunity to not have Happy's stocking here to be purple, as it could have been foreshadowing for future scenes. Happy is seen instructing the Iron Legion to decorate the logo on the Avengers Tower, which I might add, where Happy is standing seems very dangerous. The Iron Legion comes in handy here with putting a Santa hat on the A. We're introduced to Darcy when she calls over the radio to Happy. Happy sends Darcy on a hunt for cherries for Tony's drink that, by the way, doesn't even include cherries, just trying to get her out of his hair. What makes it funnier is that he's saying to get the jar of cherries because they ran out, but the camera pans to a full jar of cherries right in front of him. He really just wanted her to leave. Happy says to her, "You want to get college credits for this," which will be a theme in the episode. Happy greets Maria, who is being very festive with her snowman pin. Darcy is picking playlists out for the party, where she mentions a Christmas playlist, a Hanukkah playlist, and of course that one Mariah Carey song on loop, which is probably the most popular Christmas song to be released. So it's fitting they put that in there. She passes the villain of the episode. While doing this, also happens to be the villain from Iron Man 2, Justin Hammer. Justin Hammer comes into the building holding a large bin of poinsettias, strategically hiding his face. The Watcher says this may actually be a story about how Justin Hammer stole Christmas, which could be a play from the famous Dr. Seuss How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Quick shout out to Jim Carrey's Grinch because that movie's awesome. We get a quick synopsis of what the Hammer has been up to. He's been in prison, but has been devising a plan. Lucky for him, he stumbles upon a magazine that talks about Hulk's blood. The next scene, Justin is seen with his men storming the Avengers Tower, reminiscent to Die Hard. Justin says, "When I was 7 years old, I wanted a Red Ryder BB gun," and that he accidentally got his tongue stuck to a pole, which could be him directly quoting a movie called The Christmas Story. Justin redirects the Iron Legion to be on his side, and to signify that, their eyes turn red. This reminds me of Age of Ultron in some ways, with AI being the issue, which at this moment, Tony would still be experimenting with AI. Happy takes the elevator up and stumbles upon Justin, but remains unseen. He overhears Justin's intentions and plans with stealing the Hulk blood. To flee the situation, Happy does a leap from the elevator to a vent shaft, just like John McClane did in Die Hard. Both characters saying similar things once calling through the vents. I love that Marvel did this, and would love to know what you guys think. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? While Sergei and Rusty are trying to break into to get Hulk's blood, Happy falls into the room holding the Hulk's blood. The syringe falls into Happy's leg, injecting him with the Hulk blood, only his leg turns into Hulk from so far. The Hulk blood also not turning him green and turns him purple. I wonder why they went with purple here instead of green. Happy also stumbles upon a confetti arrow, which I would love to know how this would come in handy in battle. Well, I guess we will actually see later on. The scene cuts to Happy on his phone scrolling through his contact list names, including some of the Avengers, other MCU characters, and even funny ones that are writers of What If. Happy is hiding in Tony's office while making calls to notify the others of what's happening. It seems as Tony sent the Avengers on some holiday community events. Tony is dressed up as Santa, being Santa for a children's meet and greet like the ones in the malls. Steve is dressed up as an elf, and Natasha dressed up as the ballerina from the Nutcracker. However, she's in the middle of a mission. We also see Clint and Bruce fighting over the last Iron Man toy with children surrounding them. Clint says, the wife says, "Bring home this toy or don't come home at all." This scene was pretty funny to me, as it was a rendition from the other Christmas movie, Jingle All the Way, featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger and David Atkins. Darcy gives Happy a great idea. She tells him to basically get Jarvis back online so that they can take control of the whole building. At this point, Happy is walking around with 2 Hulk arms and 1 Hulk leg. Sergei and Rusty enter the room as Happy tries to hide, except he's too big to stay hidden in a spot now. Bullets start flying as Happy tries to escape. He sees an entire roll of spandex on the wall, grabs it, runs and jumps out the window holding onto it, almost an exact scene from Die Hard where John McClane jumps out of the window using a fire hose. It seems every time Happy gets hit with something, another body part turns into the Hulk. Now, after Happy has been pushed through the walls, he finally transitions. A much darker tone of Jingle Bell plays in the background as he transitions. When Darcy arrives back at the tower, she searches for Jarvis's backup. She comes across a Friday, which is the AI that will follow Jarvis, and Edith 1.0, which is the AI Tony gives Peter Parker after his death, and Happy tells Justin that he will be coming up the elevator, which we know from Endgame that the Hulk is too big for the elevator, which then there is another nod to Die Hard, and Happy sends up an elevator with a mannequin with a letter "Let It Snow" attached. In Die Hard, John McClane sends up a dead body that says, "Ho ho ho, I have a machine gun." As I can tell, the writers love Die Hard. I guess you could say to them it's a Christmas movie. Happy comes to the floor and releases Maria and Darcy, and we get a big hallway scene of Happy destroying the Iron Legion. We even see oil spouting from each destroyed robot that is too close to be looking like blood. Justin brings up a very famous wrestler, Hulk Hogan, and calls upon the Hulkbuster armor, where we will see another battle between Hulk, or a Hulk, and the Hulkbuster. And another funny thing, Darcy calls Happy the best boss ever, and he says that means a lot coming from somebody who's had just so many bosses. This goes to show how hard it is out here. During the fight, the Hulkbuster uses the rapid punch feature, the same feature Tony used on the Hulk in Age of Ultron. Happy as Hulk gets a spurt of energy and really lays it on Justin in the Hulkbuster, destroying the armor. Hulkbuster lays on the ground and the Avengers show up, and it takes them a minute to realize this Hulk is Happy Hogan. Tony deactivates the Hulkbuster suit, and Happy Hogan's sonic screams Justin out of the window. The fall is very reminiscent of the fall out of the window from Die Hard. However, Happy decides to save Justin, and the episode ends where we finally see Thor show up in a Christmas hat. I wonder, though, if this is the same Thor as the Thor from the Peter Quill episode that we saw last episode. Could be a really cool connection, and I don't believe it to be out of their realm if they're going to be doing a team up later in the season. But anyway, that's the episode. It definitely puts you in the Christmas mood. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Everyone have a Merry Christmas and enjoy the rest of the holidays.